Hi guys, it's Mrs. Ailstack here, your math teacher. Just wanted to make a quick little video to remind you about the important dates for the end of the semester and also how to check your grades. So first reminder is that all graded assignments are due by Tuesday, December 14th at 11:59 p.m. That is the last day that any of your teachers will be able to accept your work. So what you want to do is you want to check your grade and see if you are happy with where you're at, because maybe you have an F and therefore you definitely need to bring it up to at least a passing grade of a D. Or maybe you are passing, but you have a D or a C and you want it to be a little bit higher. You're maybe striving to have C's and above or B's and above. Then you definitely want to check your grades and see what you need to do. And it is very, very important that you pass everything with a minimum grade of a 60% D. That is the minimum grade considered passing. Because if you don't pass, if you have an F, you are going to have to retake that entire class. So it'll start you from scratch. So let's say that you get an F in your math class, then you're going to have to retake that entire semester. We definitely don't want to do that. One thing to help with this is we are having what we're calling Save Your Grade Week, and that is next week, December 6th through 10th. During that time, and I'll show you the schedule in just a second, you will have a handful of help sessions that you can go to so you can work on assignments. Now, even if you are passing the class and you're happy with your grade, it is still required that you attend because there will be a task and a review for you to complete. Okay? Now here is that schedule. This is the general schedule for all of your classes. So as you can see here, it is very different from what we're used to. So in that 9 o'clock block, there are 4 different days that you will be able to meet with your ELA teacher and get some help. So if you have a couple assignments that you're struggling with, a couple of IXLs, you can go to those and say, hey, Miss Phelps, I need some help on this assignment. Can you work with me on it? And she'll be happy to do so. For math, all right, this is my advanced class. So we are going to have a help session on Thursday and Friday. So that means you have 3 days up until this where you don't really have anything during that 10 o'clock time. So that would be a great opportunity to make sure that your class kick projects are done and all of your IXLs are done. So that way, if you're like, ooh, I'm struggling on this one, you've tried it, you know you're struggling with it. So then on Thursday and Friday, I can help you. And then if you look at science, social studies, CRE, so that's your career explorations. And then you have 2 days of art and 2 days of PE. So make sure that you attend those classes when you see them and you either work on missing assignments or you work on a separate task that your teacher is giving you. Okay, let's take a brief moment and check how to check your grades. And while I do that, we will also talk about some of the really big assignments. So the things that if you're missing, I encourage you to start there because they are worth the most and will have the biggest impact on your grade. All right, here we are on the advanced math class I'm viewing as a student. So as you can see, it looks a wee bit different than what you can see, but it's pretty darn close. Because for you guys right here in this box where my cursor is circling, you can see your letter grade, the progress of the lessons you've completed, and your overdue list. Even though that little snapshot is handy, it doesn't give you all of the details. So the best way to see exactly why you have that grade, whether it's a grade you're happy with or not, to see what's contributed to that, you need to come right up here and click on the grades tab, because that will open up your grade book for you. Once that loads, this is what you will see. The only difference is, of course, you will actually have grades in. But for all of the assignments, the most important thing I want to direct you to is the support that you have in the gradebook, all the shortcuts I've given you. You notice that you have the name of the assignment, and then underneath it, there's always a direct link to it. So whether it's an IXL, a quiz, a test, a class kick, if you click on that link, it'll either take you to the assignment or the assignment description, so you can see what you need to do. On the right in the overall feedback, that's where if it's missing, I will put a comment and say this is missing. Or maybe it's a classic assignment and I want you to go back and make corrections because I've left you feedback. I will have a comment on that. It includes the due date so you can remember when it was due. And then my favorite part is a help video. So for every IXL assignment and for every test, there is always a help video that you can watch to review if you are struggling on an assignment. That's kind of that first layer of defense. And of course, if it doesn't help, come to me, send me an email, and I'm more than happy to assist. Now, in regards to working on assignments, a lot of you guys have your assignments for Unit 1 and Unit 2 done. Unit 3 is kind of when it started to fall apart a little bit for some of you. So definitely check in Unit 3 and see if you have any missing IXLs. I would watch that video and then complete it. So if there's any 8-point IXL assignment that you have a 0 on, watch the help video, then type in that code and complete it. Unit 3 also had a project. So that project was worth a test grade. This would be a really good thing to look at because it is worth a lot of points, and feedback was left if you made errors, and you're allowed to go back and correct. So if you go and complete this linear equations project, whether it's for the first time or whether you're making corrections, when you're finished, please send me an email so that way I know to go back and do it and regrade it, especially if you're redoing it. Because if you're redoing it, I mean, I'm not going to be able to know that you redid it unless you email me, because I'm going to see that it's already been graded. So make sure if you make corrections and you want it to be regraded, send me an email so that way I know you fixed it and I'll be happy to regrade it for you. Then we have Unit 4. Make sure that you've completed these. We did have quite a bit of formulas. So watching that help video, even if you just watch the first few minutes, so that way you can see what the formulas are and write those down, will be very beneficial. And then Unit 5 is our last unit. It's what we're currently on. We have several IXL assignments, so you really want to make sure that you didn't finish any of those, because this in entirety is IXL assignments and a project. There aren't any quizzes that you had to do in Unit 5, so Unit 5 was a little different. Same goes for this one. You had an amusement park class kick project. I personally loved it. Several of you got to be creative. I've had a ton of fun grading them. So if this is something that you either have not done yet, because it was due this past Wednesday, December 1st, or maybe you've done it and you just misunderstood the directions, or a lot of you only wrote your answer as a fraction, you didn't also tell me the decimal and percent, I've left comments for feedback. So once again, you can go back, make corrections, and then email me, don't forget that part, and I will be more than happy to regrade it and update your score. The very final thing on here is there is one final extra credit assignment, a Daisy Donuts class kick. So if you want to do a final piece of extra credit, you're welcome to do that. I will say with extra credit, it is good because you can't really do bad on it. You just can do good on it. Extra credits are usually worth anywhere between 1 and 3 points. So not as much as an actual assignment. So you really will want to do the actual assignments, the ones that are worth 20 points or 8 points first, because those will help your grade more than an extra credit. An extra credit will help. Just 3 points is obviously not as much as 8 points or 20 points. All right, that is all I have for you. Remember, the last day to turn in assignments is in 2 weeks, Tuesday the 14th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any questions, just send me an email. I'm more than happy to either make a video and respond and answer your question that way, or look at your schedule and mine and set up a help session. I'm always happy to do that. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day.